Oh, hi there. Cello. Hey now. Hola. And ba weep grana weep ninny bong. However you want to say it. Welcome to that Kev1n Show. Well, party people, you know my next guest from your countless comedic scene-stealing appearances in some of your favorite shows and films, such as Up All Night, Hot in Cleveland, Key and Peele, John Benjamin Has a Van, The Circle with Tom Hanks, not the reality show, unless he has some news for us, the Sarah Silverman program, Ass Backwards, Now Apocalypse from Greg Araki. We just talked to Richard Reel about that one. Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse, different apocalypse, I'm sure. Uh, I can go on forever, and these are off the top of my head from memory. And yeah, my grep was telling me earlier today that I should check out Me Time, I want to say, with Hart and Wahlberg, Your Honor with Bryan Cranston. I mean, I'm sure I would have, but there's so many streaming options out there that it's like, where's that? Where's this? Oh, he was in Search Party as Ashley, and I tell everyone to binge that one because that's just, oh my god. I always tell people it's the show, not the film, which is probably great as well. He's animated in Q-Force, a very important Netflix animated series, True Broke Girls, The Kroll Show, the hilarious Burning Love, and if you haven't guessed his identity yet, the fact that he's Chloe 70 from the viral The Chloe Shorts and Feathers from Planet Unicorn. Hey, I always got to add the hey because I'm an actual OG fan of that. Give it up for my new friend and yours. You love him already. When I reveal him, you already know. It's morning here on the West Coast, but live from New York, it's Drew Droege. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Great, fantastic.
Wonderful. My God, you did some deep cuts.
Oh yeah,
You
well,
mentioned things that I forgot. I was like, oh yeah.
I mean, we're still young, but you've been at it for quite a while, and like literally, like I say, countless things.
Surprisingly young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh,
Yeah, I've been really lucky to get to have get. I'm very smart, first of all. To have gotten to like do lots of really fun comedy projects along the way, and some of it is on TV and a lot of it is live and on the internet and whatever. But yeah, it's been fun. It's always great to get to do something that's in your wheelhouse and make people happy.
yeah. I mean, you're like a genius wonderkind. You're in like everything, theater. I remember seeing you in Channel 101 stuff and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You just pop up on any. You just tune to the channels if people still watch regular TV and not just streaming, but like you just pop up in every little thing. It's amazing.
I'm always happy to. Hopefully now that we have this strike over with, I think we
Yeah.
hope we can get back to work. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was 100% over because in the big time media and everyone thinks, oh yeah, the strike's over, great, yeah, and guests are returning to late night and stuff, and on my show more we talk about more stuff I know, but like I had I want to say it was screenwriter Lindsay Stidham. She educated us last week or 2 weeks ago. Last week it aired though. That the strike wasn't fully over, that it was still being ratified and everything. Do you have any inside
Yeah,
information
we
on
have
that?
to. We have to. Although we have until the beginning of December,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll find out fairly soon. We have to. I mean, I have to go over the contract and do my research and see how we have to basically approve.
Yeah.
The membership have to approve the
Yeah.
ratification. So and there's a lot of dissent right now. There's a lot of stuff in the air, and I can't. I mean, to be totally honest, I don't know enough about it to say one way or another strongly. I really hope we can get back to work. We also have to get the things that we work so hard for. So
Yeah.
that's why I just say hopefully it will get solved and we can go back to work. But
Yeah.
it's hard enough when everything's regular. It's hard enough to get work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's COVID. It's been like just one thing after another. So come on, let's get back.
Yeah, I mean, I pray that we really figure out the whole AI aspect. That's kind of like a scary thing because I mean, you've done so much stuff that like AI could just do a soundboard and sample you and make Drew Droege stuff forever, and like that's not right,
They've proven that they can do that with everybody, and
Mm.
it's something that my feeling is like, first of all, it's like we can't stop it from happening. It's just the wave of the future. It's something
Uh-huh.
that's just it's going. We have to learn how to use it instead of
Hmm.
be afraid of it and reject it and kind of act like it's not going to happen because it
Hmm.
is.
Yeah.
I think what AI AI can't do is provide the chaos and the magic and the weirdness of the human experience. So like it could mimic my voice. It's just like, I mean, a friend of mine put in an chat GPT, like, write a play in the style of Drew Droege and just send it to me. And it was like what a computer thinks that I sound like. And of course it was this very homophobic syntax thing where every character said fabulous and dear and my darling and all this stuff. And I was like, well, I would never write that. Like, it made me laugh. And then there were references to things like that. Like, I was like, I see how the computer just was like, oh, ding, ding, ding. It's like, you know, Instagram suggests the pages that you might like. And to me, it's just pure, like, just horror bait. Like, it's just Instagram. Like, and maybe there's like one picture of like an 80s actress, and then it's just like shirtless guys working out. And so it's probably like this.
You're like, yeah.
And you're like, not like I don't like that.
Yeah.
But it's not really what I would curate. And so I feel like,
well, that's comforting.
AI will get smarter, but it can never be human.
Yeah.
It can never be like spontaneous. And that's the thing I think we have to remind ourselves. It's like, first of all, I mean, I should be so lucky to be so like replicated on a mass scale that people would care to like, you know, replicate me. It does irritate me when I see, you know, like cable commercials with celebrities who are dead now, who are saying like, get this, you know, get Spectrum or whatever. It's so gross.
Oh, is that, wait, does that happen? Can you remind me of that one? Which one was that?
I've seen that happen where they, I've seen some campaign where they took classic scenes from movies.
Oh, okay, that sounds familiar,
yeah. Their dialogue, having them like promote the thing. I think it's disgusting. It's awful. And I think it's also going to be really the hardest for people who work in background and people who do dubbing and looping.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, because that's like I remember that was one of my quote. I shouldn't call it a day job. That was what I called it, like a day job when I was living in LA. Yeah, it's like minimum wage, and so I can't imagine like being like on a set doing like extra work, and then all of a sudden you're like in Fast and the Furious or Transformers '97 years later. And like, you know, it's like, oh, and there's me in a crowd scene, but you know, you're 65, but it's like, there's me running at 27, you know, from yet another robot or, you know,
like that
zombie tornado.
That is going to be a very, because when I did background work, which I did quite a bit in my 20s, you know,
like 5 years ago, yeah.
Thinking, like, what did you say?
Like 5 years ago when you were in your 20s, yeah.
Oh my God, you're so sorry. Yeah. Like I said, we're frighteningly young.
Right.
No, but like I remember thinking like, oh, one day this is going to be replaced with. I just was like, technology's going to find a way to do this. And right now it hasn't gotten away. I think right now it's more expensive actually to paint in individual people than it is to actually hire extras, which tells you how terrible human beings are treated in the workforce nowadays. But you know, I think there's lots of concerns about all of that, but I also, you know, I wonder if, you know, we're splitting hairs and like, you know, and I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know. I think it's a very scary time right now.
Yeah, it's just frustrating and scary. Yeah, and I almost feel like, I feel like tech people might not even fully understand because how fast it's moving and everything. I remember, I was at the beach watching when Netflix dropped the Black Mirror with the, did you watch that with Salma Hayek where she was an AI avatar and they used her likeness?
No, I don't know. I've seen that one with Salma Hayek.
It's a fun one. It's Annie Murphy from, you know, Schitt's Creek is in it, and I'm trying to remember because I saw it so well when I was new, but it was like she was playing, you know, an actress, and then all of a sudden like she's watching Netflix with a friend, and it's Salma Hayek playing her. And it's like, what? This is my life. This happened yesterday. And it's like literally like picture in picture with what happened to her, and she's almost catching up with it. And she signed her likeness in a terms and conditions thing. And Salma Hayek also did the same. And then anyway, it's just like a crazy, but it was like literally like a month later, it almost seemed possible, very possible, not just, you know, near future. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. Then we were striking at stuff very related to it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't think anybody fully knows, but I do feel like the reason that I got into this business and what I really love about human beings and watching them is that they're impossible to really recreate like I said, the chaos and the magic of humanity. You know, they can make it seem like that, But it's also, I think Hollywood, for the beginning of time, since Hollywood's been a money-making business, they just completely pillage whatever is making money, and they ruin it. Like, they before we even knew, like, algorithms or all that, they were just like, oh, people love musicals, we're going to make 10, or people love sword and sandal movies, we're going to make 1,000,000 of those, and they just exhaust the people. That's just the nature of the business. Has it's always been, that, like, they kind of try to think like, oh, this is popular and this is popular, so let's put them in a movie together, and then we'll figure out what it is. And the truly great things come from much more inspired sources, and someone saying, I have this amazing idea, or whatever happens, lightning in a bottle, or whatever, which is what will still happen. I think it's just reinterpreted in different ways. And like I said, I think we have to be cautious, but we can't be paralyzed with fear about the future, because, like, it's just sort of like, well, we just have to find a way to make this technology work for us. But yeah, there's, so who knows?
Yeah,
We shall see.
you bring up a great point, and you're one of the first guests, maybe the first guest, to bring up maybe possible benefits to AI. So in your mind, what are some of the great ways we can use that tool?
I think there's lots of great ways to. I think, like, in our business, we can use AI to write our bios for us, to help us with our website, to it will be easier to, like, touch up photography. It will be easier in editing, and in a lot of ways. I think. There's also just great ways of just having, like, access to information so quickly, that we already do have at our fingertips. I'm not necessarily like, yay, pro AI is the sort of like,
no, yeah.
We have to find a way to use that, to use that. But I think we're completely naive to think that executives haven't already tried to put, like, writing scripts in ChatGPT. Like, they're already trying to, like, get rid of writers. But if you read something written in ChatGPT, it's ridiculous. And yes, it'll get better, but it'll never be what a great writer could come up with. It will never be that, right? Because that's what I just think that we have to remember, like, not count ourselves out so much. That, from the beginning of time, cave people have gotten together and told stories. That's the human need, is to have other human beings recreate stories and feel emotions so that we can feel things, like teach lessons and all that. Like, it's a very primal thing that we do. Has existed since the beginning of man. So as long as we're here, hey, AI might wipe all of us out, and then, all right, bye. But as long as we're on this earth, I think we will have a need for human beings to be artists. Like, whether that's on camera or behind the camera, or as writers and creators and everything. So
No, yeah. It's like you said, the cave drawings, the stuff on the wall. Everyone, the stories have always been the most important thing to help us move on. Really. Yeah. It's a je ne sais quoi. You can't like replicate, like, a really unique, one of a kind artist.
Yeah. And I think it's like when you see people do impressions of someone, and they're just kind of recreating what that person's already done. It's sort of like, yeah, you're a good mimic, but you're not that person. Like, I could be like, I'm really impressed that you really studied that person and everything that they did, but you don't have that spark or that, like, So anyway.
It kind of reminds.
I think we can also, like, there's also just, like, so much to where we just, like, need to be able to, like, get back. Just, like, we need health insurance. We need.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
We're gonna need. We need movies and TV shows. Like, next year's gonna be weird. Like, it's just because we're gonna get to the point where, like, oh, we're either gonna be watching things that have been on the shelf since 2015, or watch really thrown together things, or just be like, oh, the second half of 2024 doesn't have anything coming out because nothing's been made.
Yeah,
so,
I don't want to bash any particular like reality shows, but I was watching a reality show last night, a certain dating show but like I was falling into slumber to it. And and then it was skipping episodes, because it just kept playing. And then I was like, this is just horrible. Like it's just, yeah, I don't want to settle. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's funny how a lot of people who like aren't respecting the strike or so much were like, oh, let's watch something else. They're overpaid and everything. It's like, well, you guys are really going to run out of stuff. This stuff's been made a year and a half ago or so long ago.
Right.
A lot of people just don't really
Well, and I
realize
hope
that.
people realize, like, I hope that we were able to shine a light on the fact that, like, most actors are not paid insanely, like, at all. Like,
Yeah.
even a working wage. I mean, 87% of our union actors did not make $26,000 last year for their
Oh
health
my
insurance, and that was
God.
not
Yeah. I didn't know that number, but
the
yeah.
majority.
Yeah.
So there were 13% of us that get qualified for health insurance, and that was people who made $26,000 a year as on acting jobs. So yeah, I mean, we are job to job, most of us that work, and most of us also, my situation, I write, I teach, I do other things, like, because, and I prefer that, so I'm not panicking every time I go in for an acting job, so that I'm not like, I have to have this, I'm not going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like, you have to be able to do other things in order to make it work. So I'm hoping that perception is like, oh, Hollywood elite, and they're all, bajillionaires living out in
Yeah.
It's like, no,
No.
most of us aren't even like 100,000-aires.
Mm-hmm.
So just, like,
Yeah, I know an actor. I'm not, I, won't, I mean, 'cause I don't, he's posted about it. But I don't think I'm not going to say his name, but he, pretty well known actor, on hit Netflix series and such. But he's like delivering packages and stuff during the strike because, like, it's just, yeah, it's like life, guys.
yeah, oh, absolutely.
I
I think
mean,
that's like too, and I think that,
mm,
we realized also during pandemic, and we all had to be like, we all have to. There's no shame in any work and in any job, and there's pride in every job, and it's like you have to, or if you just want to. I mean, I know lots of actors who still keep their, couple nights a week bartending job because they enjoy the extra money.
mm-hmm,
They like to be busy. It stresses out less, and there are lots of reasons why people work multiple jobs, and it's nobody's business. And just because you recognize someone from TV, I hope people realize, like, you realize they're not paid a lot to be on TV, and on
mm-hmm.
streaming they're not getting residuals. So
Yeah, that was
like,
so shocking to me. When you find out that, like, I mean, like, Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston should be rich from Breaking Bad alone, kind of like Seinfeld money, from reruns and such. But no, it's like pennies on the dollar, and it's like some people have these streaming services just for like a Cobra Kai or Breaking Bad or whatever, Office or Seinfeld, and but they're not getting the respect for that. They're not getting the proper money for that. It's just insane.
right, yeah,
I don't know if
yeah,
it's the evil, but yeah. Ugh, man. Well, maybe that's one of the reasons you went back to theater. I mean, you probably much never stopped really, but with
I'm very grateful. I'm
yeah,
very grateful
Titanic.
to have a
Marvelous
theater job
reviews for
right now.
that.
And what did you say?
Oh, Titanic. I'm so jealous of not being able to see that because I'm on the West Coast. You're a Titanic send up? I might be saying it wrong.
Yes, I'm in Titanic.
Oh,
I'm doing it through the beginning of January.
oh.
It is so much fun. It's a parody of Titanic, and with all music of Celine Dion. And so I am the one character that doesn't sing in the show, thank God, because I'm not a singer. But
Oh
the
no.
rest of the cast is these incredible voices,
Oh.
and it's been running for over 2 years in New York.
Oh.
It just hit its year mark at the theater. We're at the Darrell Roth Theater now. We just hit our year anniversary there, and but it was at another theater in Chelsea before that, and it's just been extended to the middle of June. It's going so well. It's so fun to be in a show that's just pure joy.
Yeah.
I got the call this summer to come and join, in August. So I've been there since August doing it, and I've needed it. Like, I've really been reminded of, like, why I do what I do, and this cast are just really just the sweetest, dear. I mean, they're just so talented and so kind, and just patient with me as I'm like, I had a week of rehearsal to learn the show, come in and be like, all right, now, so
Not a lot of
it's
time,
really
really.
been,
Yeah, it's not a lot of time. Wow.
yeah. So, but it's been a blast. I've had so much fun, and I'm very grateful for the work and also just a chance to do this show that like I've always wanted to do for the last. They've been working on this show for about 7 or 8 years now, and conceptualizing it. So yeah, I'm just so grateful to finally get to be a part of it. And yeah, I know I wish you could see it, but hopefully it'll tour. I feel like they talked about that, and who knows.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting rave reviews, and I love the brilliant marketing from like the Golden Bachelor to even like Nicole Kidman with that theater commercial parody.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I think it works on so many levels because it's a comedy show with incredible singing. I mean, we don't. The joke is never the music, so the songs don't change any of the words to the song, and they fit incredibly weirdly well to what's happening on stage to the and but the joke is never like, oh, this is campy and like we're bad singers, we're making fun of it.
Yeah,
it is. We have 2 Elphas from Wicked on Broadway that are in the show. Their voices are phenomenal, so people are blown away by the music. And it's Titanic, which has so much lore and all the drama, and and it's ridiculous. We're making fun of a lot of the ridiculous things in the movie, but also there's so much heart, and it's a love letter to Celine Dion. Like it's not at all making fun of her. I mean, it definitely apes her kind of cringiness and how she loves to act like she's like so adored, but it's very much a love letter to her. And she's not seen the show, but her people have come to see the show and have been so encouraging. I've been like, she would love this, and and she's been ill for a long time, and has just like started to make public appearances in the last few weeks. Like she's just started to be at a few other things, and looks great. And so obviously it's great, and hopefully she can recover and be able to perform again, or at least be happy, because they're like, she's been able to stop performing. So like it's been very cool to be a part of that as well. The people who just like love her music come. So we have crowds from all over, and there's some people who have really don't appreciate or enjoy the comedy. Like there are nights that we're out there, we're like, oh, these people really just wanted a concert of Celine Dion music. And then the next night we'll have this raucous crowd that is screaming at everything we say. So you never really know what to expect when you go out there, but it's great to go out there with a cast that I adore, and we do it 8 times a week. So you have one that's weird, you shake it off, and you do another one. Yeah, I'm on my way to go do 2 today. I have 2 tomorrow. So, yeah.
That is so awesome, man. Well, one person I was able to see it was Melissa McCarthy. That made some headlines. What was it like having like one of the queens of comedy, if not the official, currently reigning?
She came last weekend, and it was so nice. I mean, I've been lucky to have known her for a million years. So we go back to the Groundlings Theater in LA, so I've known her since back then, and so I was so happy to get a message that she was coming, and she and her daughter were so sweet afterwards, and just like talked to everybody, and just was like,
that's so cool.
Yeah, I know, and to have her approval is huge. And she's so supportive, and just like
well deserved approval, but still from her, that's awesome. Was her husband there or no?
He actually came and saw it maybe a month earlier.
Oh, cool.
And so,
it's always so cute when they're in movies together. Maybe most of her movies, it almost feels like a lot of them.
They work together a lot. They always have.
He's great too.
They met at the Groundlings, and and he was one of my directors when I was. He was one of my directors at the Groundlings when I was.
And if any fans out there. Most of my fans are kind of theater nerds, but if any fans out there don't know, Groundlings is one of the leading, if not the leading, improv schools, like UCB we've talked about and such. So learning yes and all that jazz. Wow, he was one of your directors. Wow, that's very cool.
It's for lots of like a lot of comedians and actors and writers have come out of that theater, and it's where I studied there, and it's changed my life, and I teach there now, so I love getting to be part of that school, and I go back and do shows there occasionally, and so it's a good time. But I mean, they were in together, and I think I saw them in one of the first Groundlings shows that I ever saw when I was and they were in the Sunday Company back then when I saw them, and so it's so cool that and to see them ride together and make so much hilarious stuff together. And I've always been so inspired because they've worked really hard, like a lot of people do through this.
Yeah, so
Crazy,
see mother effers out there. Some Hollywood couples are real. You know, people look through Us Weekly and all that, and they're like, they're not real. No, they're not together.
Oh, I know. It's really disarming. I mean, it's weird. It's such a strange. Like, you're in this. Sometimes there are people who are like, oh, this is completely a strange situation of like celebrity, and I don't understand. And then there are other people that are wildly famous, and you're like, oh yeah, they're just like hanging out with their kids and their dog, and they're just normal. It really is like every type of person is in this business. I mean, I think it's a lot of people, when they talk about fame and success and everything, I think all that just makes you. It just amplifies who you are beforehand.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it changes people. It might change people around you, but I think it just blows up everything, and for good and for bad. I mean, I think a lot of, so it's something. It's like.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you're like me. Like, I remember when I was a little kid and you're in school and they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And some people are saying astronaut or whatever, and some people don't know. And I always knew I wanted to be an actor before I even knew what that meant, because I was doing like kind of method acting while doing recess without realizing it and stuff. And, I did plays and stuff. So I just always kind of knew. So I just knew, no matter how far or where this path takes me, I just knew it wouldn't really change me at all. Yeah, kind of like you're saying, it just amplifies who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully people who are making it are in there for the right reasons and are nice people. And a lot of times, like, the people that move ahead are good people. That's one of the good things about our business.
Yeah.
Typically, you know.
And I think, I mean, there's no formula, and that's the thing that's frustrating about it, and why it keeps everyone playing the lottery every day. So like any day, something can happen, and your life will change.
Yeah.
But for people like who have to just go job to job and build a career, like I think about like I'm 46 and I've been in LA doing since I was 22, and so over half my life I've been pursuing this and building and doing things, and it's like to have some people. I saw some people around me blow up really quickly and continue to be there, some of them, and then other people, it comes and goes. There's no formula, and I think the worst thing to do is to think that there's one path to success, or to try to jump on someone else's path and be like, oh, this is what worked for them, I'm going to do that. Exactly. I mean, I started to do Groundlings because I wanted to be on Saturday Night Live, and I knew that a lot of people did that, and I got very close to getting that job. And when I didn't, it was a great thing for me. Like I think I have to look at it that way. That I don't know that it would have been the right fit.
Oh yeah, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that. Yeah.
That sort of blew up my idea of like what I had to go to do next, and it made me really focus on me and make my own projects and create my own thing. And while you're doing that, the one thing, and not that I'm a saint or that I'm always the nicest person in the world, but the one thing you can control along the way is kindness, like your attitude. And you want to be somebody that people want to be around, because no one's indispensable. And I get it when it's like, oh, we got this giant star, and so they might be a monster and whatever because we have to deal with them, but the trade-off is we get there. I get that whole thing, but first of all, most of us are not that, or nor would I ever want to be that like thing that everyone's afraid of, like, or whatever, and giant. Like, I don't ever want to be that famous. Like, it's terrifying to me. But if you're not that, you have to be somebody that people want around, because you're one of 100 people that could have a job. And yeah, you're good at this job, but no one's so good that it's like, oh, we have to do this with someone else. Like we can't do this with anyone but so and so. So I'm just saying, like, if you're an asshole, you often don't work, and you become your own worst enemy, because people go, yeah, they're great, but man, it's a lot dealing with them. And that's all you need, is for one person to say that. And you can't control if people are going to say it out. You can only just do your thing, but you don't want that added like thing to like the column of why we're not going to hire you, And then people fall from grace. And so when you aren't that big star anymore and you come back groveling, people are like, yeah, no, you were too difficult, you know, and it's very hard to get back on. So I can't make someone think I'm hilarious or think I'm talented or think that I'm the choice for the job. I can't convince them of that. But I can, like, just try to be cool, show up on time, kind of know my stuff, be pleasant to work with, be a team player, you know, like, just basic things that I think we sort of sometimes can forget. And I do think that I've learned from watching really big, influential people be that, like, be the kindest, be the most lovely, you know, and they understand that, like, everyone's watching, you know. And when you're wonderful and cool to work with, people talk about it. When you're terrible to work with, people talk about it. You know, especially when you are the you know, the name above the title. So I think a lot of people now realize, like, oh, I have to put my best foot forward. And that's really a big deal. That's a big deal to just put in that extra effort to just be cool. Like, I don't think you have to, like, go out of your way to be, like, the nicest person in the world, but just, you know, realize we're all trying to work here. We're all under a lot of stress. We all should be grateful that we have a job today. You know, just basic stuff.
Well, and it's working for you because you're showing your talent and you're working. So it's definitely working for you. It's true.
Your best, you know.
Leading by example.
Yeah.
I mean, like so many things, like I mentioned. One of the most recent films that I saw you in, it might be your most recent, maybe not, is Fool's Paradise with Charlie Day.
Oh, yes, of course.
So great. I loved him for a while. He was like probably, to me...
I love him. I love those guys. Charlie's the greatest. That little piece, those callbacks throughout the movie. We did those. So Mary Elizabeth, his wife, and Artemis is like your dear friend. The two of them and I were in this. We've done a bunch of comedy shows together. We were in a rock band for a while. We were in this crazy onstage like parody of a Lifetime movie that got turned into like a really bizarro Adult Swim short film, like I think a 40-minute film.
What was it called? What was it called?
It's called Mother May I Dance with Mary Jane's Fist.
Oh my!
And
I am checking that out tonight. I love Adult Swim. Yeah.
It's so not okay.
Do you know if it's on? Is it on Max, where a lot of Adult Swim stuff is? Maybe, or
I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's. I think you can absolutely find it on
somewhere, YouTube
on one of the search engines.
Yeah, I know, because I know Adult Swim's under Max right now, last I checked. But yeah, I'll look for that for sure. But yeah,
it's deliciously wrong, and I love it.
Love
it. So we've done a lot together, and so when Charlie asked us to do that as their hair and makeup team, we were so excited to be a part of that. It was so much fun.
That was so great, so frantic and everything, and the three of you there, like, oh my god, yeah. The what?
He said, I want you to do it again and just go crazier and just do not stop talking. Do not let yourself listen. Don't ever talk. It's like the most horrible, frantic, stressful room ever of hair and makeup people. So.
Was it all improv, the three of you doing that? It seemed like it was.
No, there was scripted stuff. I remember he wrote a lot of really funny stuff for us to do and gave us scenarios. And then once we kind of laid that groundwork, we sort of improv on top of that, like, within that. So we kind of knew where we were going, and and we did this thing because I remember Mary Elizabeth wildly changed her look every time. Similar like Passive Time, they give her different hair every time, and so we called her that. And then Charlie wanted to be really mean to Artemis, and so like they were dismissive of Artemis, and so so we played within that, and I love that movie. I found that movie so just from another time period. It feels like
it almost seems like I wouldn't say like a talkie, but pre-talkie film, but kind of. I might be just thinking because he's like a mute through a lot of it. But
it's sort of like a Peter Sellers movie where it's and I think Charlie did such beautiful work in it. And
he has like a Charlie Chaplin kind of vibe to it since he's like pantomiming most of the movie.
Totally.
So good. Was it weird on set? Not weird, but was it an interesting little transition because he plays essentially a mute? The fact that he directed it and wrote it and everything, but like the fact he's got to be obviously so talkative between cut and action, and then he's just kind of pantomiming around. Was it kind of a weird vibe with that element, or no?
So,
No, she's like, okay.
I think in a way, I've worked with directors before who are also the actors in the movie, and I find that it's really admirable to be able to be at all objective and be able to look into a frame and go, oh, okay, that we got that, when you're in it. Like, I don't know that I'd ever be able to do that, because I have to wait for the director to say they're happy before. Because when they ask me, like, do you want to do another? Are you happy? I'm like, I'm only happy if you're happy, because I'll never be happy fully. If I watch it, I'll go, oh my God, what was I doing? I could do so much better. Or that was crazy. Calm down, Drew. Your face is too nuts. Or whatever. But, Charlie's so great at that. And he's directed enough with It's Always Sunny and everything that he's a really good director. And I think with that, he knew, with him not talking, he was really paying attention, even though he's doing this amazing work. I think he knew when it was good. He was able to take at least one of his senses away and be able to sort of be like, okay, I think we've got what we need, and then move on from there. And but it was really fun because he was just like, manhandle me more, throw me around even more in that chair.
Oh yeah.
Totally, that was his biggest thing. So so it was a good time.
Yeah, it's such a great, cute film. Yeah. Yeah, everyone should check that out on Hulu. I want to say it's on Hulu, right? Or I thought that's where I saw it.
Don't know. I don't know where anything.
You have too many projects. You have too many projects.
Well, it's just one of those things where they'll come out and they'll be on one thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They'll get yanked down. I mean, I love when we were like, oh, we don't need physical media anymore. Everything will exist forever online.
Isn't that wild?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
There's so many movies you cannot find, and you're like, where's? And some of them really kind of popular movies. You're trying to, you'll be like, oh, let's watch something, and you can't find it. So,
well, yeah, it's a great point. Imagine you really want to see your comfort film, and it's been on whatever forever, and then all of a sudden you go there and it's not there anymore. It's on, some other one. You're like, no, what? This is, yeah. It's so crazy.
It's so crazy. Yeah, I know.
Man. And I alluded to, you've been in so much stuff. You've been an inspiration for me for a long time. But before meeting you officially today, and I'm so thankful for that this holiday weekend. But in Hollywood, you inspired me. I was I wonder if it was I don't know what comedy place it was or what theater it was. Maybe it was Groundlings, perhaps a Groundlings place. But I was there for a Hollywood audition, one of my biggest auditions at the time when I was living in Hollywood, for Operation Repo. And it was in some sort of comedy theater, and I was in the back about to be called out for this fully improv audition. I looked up and your headshot was there on the wall, and you were really huge to me at the time for I want to say Planet Unicorn probably was probably when that came out.
Oh my God.
And it was really a je ne sais quoi kind of I'm here moment. So I want to thank you for that. It's
oh, that's so nice. Thank you so much for telling me that. No, I wonder what it was.
It was in Hollywood somewhere. Your head was on the wall. It was a headshot. A bunch of headshots were up there. And, Drew Droege was on the wall. I'm like, oh. And it's kind of it felt like, at the time you felt like you were one of those people that, it was kind of a niche thing for me to know you and love you. You know what I mean? Kind of so it's he's there. It wasn't just someone slightly, this or that. But I was like, no, well, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know if you have any idea.
I love that, I have to say, it's very cool when people like what I do, and not to I'm not knocking myself and say this, but when people know who I am and what I do, I feel oh, we like the same things, we're into the same stuff, because it's still I love going through the world and being unnoticed. I would handle it.
You can grocery shop still. You can still go out and shop and stuff and not get bothered. Hopefully.
And so when someone stops me and says they like what I do, I'm just sort of oh, that's so cool, because it's still hard to explain to my, to my family, or extended family, when they're sort of they're kind of oh, are you still out there trying to make it? And kind of because you don't have that one calling card credit, where you kind of go, oh yeah, I'm this character on this very popular show. And so it's sort of oh, I just kind of pop around here and there and do kind of weird things. So, that may very well be my life. If I'm able to continue to do that, I'm very happy with that. I don't need to be in some sort of thing. But So it does mean, it means a lot that when someone
Oh,
likes what I do. And I
yeah.
think with internet stuff, and I think I was very grateful to be kind of in the beginning, like sort of first generation of internet comedians, YouTube comedians and stuff. And people are, there's something when they like physically have held you in their hand,
Mm-hmm.
and they've watched it on one-on-one, or they've watched it with a group of their friends, and they go, oh, let's watch like crazy comedy videos that we really like.
Yeah.
And they feel like when they feel very connected, where you're not on a giant screen at the movies or on TV where everyone knows, like, oh, that's so and so. They feel very much like, oh, I am connected to you, because there's a very personal thing, which I think is very cool, because a lot of stuff, I tried a lot of stuff out online that didn't work. And so the stuff that
Mm.
I've done that has worked are very cool, and people, know it and go, oh my God, that's that thing that, and now it's so long ago. I mean, Planet Unicorn is almost 20 years old, I think.
Wow.
And so,
Huh.
yeah, so, there are people that, will come up and be like, oh, I was just a kid, and now they're like fully grown. I'm like, are you like in your late 20s? And they're like, now, whatever. And they're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's very cool that people,
I mean, not that you need another feather in
uh,
your cap, but I mean, you should maybe we should coin a term for another accolade for you because, like, yeah, like you're saying, the people passing them all these like Planet Unicorn stuff around, all this internet stuff you did, it was in this magic kind of moment time, and that you really felt where it was. I mean, it was after YouTube, but I mean, YouTube was still a thing, but it was like Channel 101 at that time, like. I mean, Jack Black was doing stuff, but he was pretty gigantic. But like the Lonely Island, I remember discovering the
right,
Boo before they were on SNL. It might have
right,
been right before it, and like you were
sure,
all up in that before Drunk History was on that, and
right, right.
before I can't remember, it was a Doc and Marty parody. Before that was Rick and Morty, all this stuff, and so you were really there, and it was kind of like when the internet was still not the redheaded stepchild, but you know what I mean. Now we have TikTok and Instagram where it's almost like back then you could have been on some celebrity show, reality show, where you're like, where nowadays you see someone and you're like, who's this celebrity on Celebrity Big Brother? And like, oh, they're the biggest TikTok dancer. I still don't know who it
Oh,
is,
right, right.
but they're
Sure,
famous,
yeah.
and you really were talent, famous wise, skill wise from that. So yeah,
Well, it's something that, yeah, it's wild. I mean, I only have a career because of the internet. Like, I would go and
I mean, that was
pitch
a really
my
big
stuff.
deal. Yeah, it was.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I would go to meetings, and I would be like, what's your material? What's your characters? What you're doing? And I was always told that my material was too weird, too
Hmm.
gay, too niche,
Mm-hmm.
too whatever. And there would always be this kind of condescending note of like, I love it, but most people won't get it,
Oh
and
God.
most people
Yeah.
won't get what we're doing. And the internet proved all those people wrong, and not just with me, but with hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And it proves it like too specific and too niche is exactly what people want on the internet. They come to expect generic on network. And I would be thrilled to be on some dumb network show and
Yeah.
making all that money doing kind of whatever material. I would be thrilled to do that. But what I love about it's like if I can't have the money and a house in the hills, I can get the cred for getting my stuff without an editor, without anyone telling me I can't do it and how to do it.
Yeah.
You put it out there, and people respond to that, and people that don't like it just will pass over it, and it's fine. But people, there's a need for everything out there, and I think
Yeah.
that was the beginning for people seeing that, like, oh wow, we were wrong. But there's so many gatekeepers in Hollywood and in New York in the whole business that
Mm-hmm.
have made up their minds as to what's good and
Hmm.
what will sell and what people want. And YouTube blew all of that up,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like those Lonely Island guys were doing stuff on Channel 101 before they did SNL,
Yeah.
and SNL was smart to hire them and be like, oh yeah, like that's what we need. And they revamped that show. I mean, they really did
Oh yeah.
with
I
digital
mean,
shorts.
yeah, because they left, and then there's a new kind of new Lonely Island on there. I want to say, right? Then they definitely wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Yes.
Please don't destroy. Yeah, they're
Oh,
called right. Yeah,
they're all very
they wouldn't.
interesting.
They're
Yeah, yeah.
great. Yeah, I just watched their that movie with Conan, the Foggy Treasure one. That was great.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't heard it's great.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I want to see
recommend it.
it.
Yeah, no cap, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No,
So
I love
yeah.
that. And that's sort of seemed like, I think everyone sort of thinks like I've got to wait for someone to discover me and give me the keys to the kingdom. And it's like, well, there's no kingdom, nor keys. Just make your work and put it out there.
Yeah, isn't that funny? It's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I think Quentin Tarantino said that on an Oscar speech for probably Pulp Fiction, right? But yeah, just go out there and make your movie, And then now there's almost no excuse with technology. I mean, you can go to Best Buy and buy a Android phone and make a movie nowadays. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's like people will find you when you're the commodity and they're the thing. But I think I don't know. I'm very grateful to be in this time period because I feel like had I been around, even trying to do my stuff 10, 20 years earlier, everyone had a very different set of expectations and ceilings that they were placed on them of like what they could do, that they've had to break through or not, and be like, well, I didn't, So
yeah, and you could take pride in the fact that you made. I don't know if I mean it's too much of a thing to say, but like and not that you made the internet cool, but like you were making it big as like this great, like kind of a rock star actor on it before it was mainstream. You know what I mean? Like Dan Harmon, for example, he might have been making some big Hollywood deals at the time, but I knew him just from Channel 101 for a while, and it was cool as hell, and it was great, and and he's working with Jack Black and Sarah Silverman, pretending they're flying spaceships, and I'm like, this is amazing. But he was cool to me in that for the longest time because of Channel 101. That's all I knew him from. Then I'm like, oh, now he has Community and such, and he might have been doing big Hollywood deals for a while before I knew it, in fact. But yeah, so you were really in it, killing it, like being like legitimately cool before the internet went when the internet was more cool independent, so to speak, and now it's like mainstream. Like now we go to YouTube as a main. It's like, oh, should I go to Netflix, Hulu, or YouTube? People say, instead of just like YouTube being the thing you go to see how to fix a sink, or something, or to watch a trailer for The Dark Knight for the 15th time, or something. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, something that kind of crosses the line between mainstream and all that with the whole viral world is like you being beloved with Unsend, the Comedy Central, your alter ego, Chloe Sevigny. Oh my God, that was just. You probably get recognized from that a lot, I imagine, or not? I mean, it's hilarious as hell. You should be.
I've got people that will. It's really fun doing the show in New York, and a lot of people who had never seen me do anything else but the Chloe videos will come up afterwards. They're like, I love these Chloe videos. I'm so glad I'm getting to see you perform live. And kind of what I'm doing in the show has lots of the Chloe thing in it as well. So that is something that like I did on stage a million years ago, and it bombed, and it did not work, and I tried it again, and it went well, and I never knew how it was going to go, and that really did change my life, and all of that. And so people, I haven't done it in a long time, but a friend of mine asked me to do a new video to help to like do a thing, and I'm like, great, let's do it again. Like, I'll do it whenever it's when I miss it. I kind of miss playing her, so I love it. I love that people love those because that's sort of my most recognized thing I've ever done.
Well, yeah, I was wondering because there's definitely like a fire in the performance to the point it almost feels like you're two sides of the same coin. Like, did you have like a real affinity for her, or were you just like watching her movies a lot, or what?
I have seen a lot of her. I mean, I'm a huge fan of indie movies, and so I do think she's great. I think she's a really good. But a lot of it just came from like me realizing I looked like her and creating a character that was based on her, and I just was fascinated by the world that. I created this original character that's like, I don't.
Yeah, like a kind of an amplified version of her, kind of, or.
Yeah, and to me, it's like I'm just fascinated by the world of somebody who lives in that space, as somebody who's like just been outside of it for so long and just sort of like, now it has become this character who is name dropping like where they were going for dinner and like who they were with and what they were wearing and all that other stuff. But ultimately, like I hope it's with love. Like I never want to drag her. And I've had lots of people suggest things in her life that I should do, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make fun of things, real life things that she's doing.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Having a kid, I'm not gonna make a video about it. So I'm like,
yeah.
That's great, you had a baby, like you got married, that's awesome. I'm not gonna make, I'm not gonna go there. And it's more fun for me to not make it so literal and so on the nose, because but when I made the first little videos, there are a couple things in the first videos that I think are not the nicest things, and so I know that she's had very complicated feelings about it, and when they blew up, I was like, oh, I have a responsibility now to like not punch down and like not go for obvious jokes and do more like just bizarre.
And it was a different time when you made those particular videos too. So yeah.
Well, and you just make things and you just never think naively like that anyone's going to really watch this. And this got a laugh on stage in front of 100 people, so why not put it out there? But you do realize that things are like, oh, there's just always better jokes you can make without like going after somebody. Also, she's not a villain. She's a really cool person. She's an actor. She does like really awesome things. So like, it's not like she's somebody that like we need to take down by any means. So it's more fun for me when my Chloe can just be
I've never met her or anything, but no, she's a great, phenomenal actress, and but it's funny. She does have she is kind of an enigma, isn't she? She's kind of got that outsider, like you said, almost not Nicolas Cage level, but kind of like what's going on with her kind of a deal. Yeah, no, totally. Well, I mean, you're a Hollywood workhorse. You got these long hours. You probably got to go pretty soon for your show, but
I do. I'm so bummed. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the time. I should probably go because I've got to go down to the theater and get on the ship of dreams and do our first of 2 shows today.
All right. Well, what's like your comfort food after like a long 16-hour day, or is there anything that you have to eat when you're in LA and New York?
I got this for sure. I love Indian food. It's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love a nice Indian food. After a show, I love a really nice bourbon. That's just always my thing. I'm like, I want my favorite Manhattan, or just like bourbon on the rocks. It's always like my dessert after performing.
Oh, who knew? Classy, fancy.
And then,
I imagine you're like a smoking jacket and you're just pouring it and you drink it and you're like, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is what I need. Even though it completely dries out your throat. Like, it feels it's very comforting, and it feels like cough syrup, and every doctor you go to, they're like, it's kind of one of the worst things you can do after screaming on stage is to dump raw corn bourbon on your throat. But, hey, whatever, what you do.
Oh. Well, I hope one day to work with you, my friend.
I know, likewise. And where are you? You're in Seattle, is that right?
I'm in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, I mean, close to Seattle.
Okay, great.
Ever been, or?
I've been to Seattle. I spent a week there. When was that? Pre-COVID, but not that far before that. So maybe like 2017 or 2018, I want to say, maybe something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it up there.
You got to come to Portland sometime.
Great food.
Yeah, and we have Indian food restaurants. That's where I'd say, hey, let's meet there, bro.
Oh my God, I've got to come up. I've got to come visit.
One thing that's funny is when I first went to LA for acting, like, and I got there, and everyone's like, oh, where are you from? It comes up, and I'm like, oh, Portland, Oregon, the best city on earth. Golly gee, at the stars in my eyes. And people will be like, Portland where? Portland, Maine? And I'm like, no, Portland, Oregon. But when I was heading back here, everyone, and they were like, oh, where are you going back to? Portland, Oregon. They'd all go like, I always wanted to go there, Voodoo Donut, Portlandia. So like, I don't know, they really played up the whole tourist area of it and became like kind of a would-be it city. So yeah. Yeah.
No, it's known for, it's known for great food and hyper-liberal people. And,
yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I did a bear party up there. I did.
Yeah.
Portland. Yeah. For a club called Barracuda. It was at.
Is it downtown? Maybe. Oh, the Crystal Ballroom. Maybe that's a big place.
Crystal Ballroom. That sounds right. That sounds correct.
Okay.
I believe that would be it. Yeah.
Very cool.
So it's good fun. I gotta come back and spend more
I
time.
always got to drop some geek stuff out. One of my favorite Masters of the Universe character, Grizzlor. So there you go.
Chris Floor is what?
Oh, Grizzlor. He's like this Masters of the Universe He-Man character.
Right. I know.
I
I
always
love
drop
him.
out.
I love that character, or whatever. But what's his connection to
Oh, like a
Florida?
grizzly bear. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh,
That
okay.
was my geeky segue.
I love it. I love it. Awesome.
Well, Drew, yeah, we've taken enough of your time, and I'm very thankful this holiday weekend that you chose to break off some time for us.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks so much. Yeah,
Oh,
thanks for taking time off your Thanksgiving weekend to do this. I appreciate it.
oh, for sure.
Fun.
It was historic, not just for you and how many things we touched on, but it's the earliest That Kev1n Show we filmed. It's usually early evening, because you're East Coast. If people aren't aware,
Yeah.
with Titanic. Oh, are tickets sold out, or can people still get some? Do you think?
They can still get tickets.
Yeah.
They can still get tickets online. So yeah, if
Oh.
they go to my Instagram, they can go to TitanicMusical.com, or they can go on my Instagram, and I have it right there to get tickets.
Oh, very cool. Any places you want to plug before you jump off? Any sites or anything, or no?
I don't know. I mean, New York. I mean, I'm going to be during the show until the beginning of January. So, there's no prettier place than New York City for the holidays. So, December here is always beautiful. So, come visit.
Yeah, I can't wait to go get it. The time I went to New York, I'm trying to remember. I went there once, and it was during a writer's strike. Not the most recent one, but it was the one before that. I'm sure, just the one right before it, probably years ago. And so I was gonna see all these shows, and like, I was bummed I couldn't see SNL or anything. But it was beautiful. I went all over Harlem. I think you mentioned that before we were recording. All over. I went everywhere, pretty much everywhere, seemingly that a tourist knows they can go in New York. So, yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. Well, travel safe. Make it back to the West Coast for more filming soon, and we'll definitely check in the future, bro.
Okay, sounds great. All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks so much for your time and break a leg tonight.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. All right,
Thanks,
take
man.
care.
Good night.
All right, bye.
Well, that was the busy, hilarious, and bright Drew Droege. See him soon if you're lucky enough to get tickets for Titanic. I think that's Titanic. That's how you say it. In New York and on your screens everywhere. And again, countless places around the world. All right, friends, it's about that time. Listen to these brief messages and a word of wisdom after the break. This portion of That Kev1n Show is brought to you by Kia, the power to surprise. That Kev1n Show is also supported by Forsaken Remains from Gul Capone Pictures. Forsaken Remains is an ambitious post-rapture apocalypse film about those left behind and their fight for survival against creatures of opposing forces in the wake of Armageddon. Directed by award-winning filmmaker Drew Crosby, a video genius whose work I adore. However, the Gul Capone Pictures crew cannot fully realize this ambitious vision of a post-rapture apocalypse without your support. Find the team on Instagram at Forsaken Remains Film. That's at Forsaken Remains Film. And follow the link in the page bio to contribute to the ongoing Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign and claim awesome perks such as a credit in the film, stickers, t-shirts, or even a Blu-ray before the campaign ends on December 13th. Get on the ground floor. Be an independent filmmaker today. Because only together can we come face to face with our demons and prove that we're so much more than just Forsaken Remains. What's better than your favorite talk show? Well, maybe homemade delicious food, cold beer, or a drink of your choosing in a comfortable atmosphere. Well, look no further than the Boulevard Tap House for the world-famous fish and chips, seafood, all-around delicious menu with pizza, all kinds of food, wings, steak bites, anything you can imagine when you want to watch the big game or catch some live jazz if you pick the right night. Open 7 days a week. Go to boulevardtaphouse.com right now. I like to go to their Terwilliger Curve location. That's the home location for their not only their fish and chips, and they knew that they always used to give me Caesar chicken salad and wine. They kind of made jokes and made fun of me that. My favorite food there now might just be the brand new Mark Kevin. That's a margarita pizza named after me. Don't know if they do it because I'm Italian or what, but I had it, and it is delicious and, dare I say, nutritious. Anyway, friends, go on in, have a great time. When you're there, you truly are family. No cap. Enjoy the Boulevard Tap House today. This portion of That Kev1n Show is supported by Bohemian Dream Gifts, made with organic and natural oils that nourish and hydrate your skin. Man, I don't know if it's the weather outside or the gym that was killing my skin, because my right elbow on the, it itched like the Dickens, like I was becoming like the lizard from Marvel Comics. I think it's that machine where you put your elbow in and do the lifts, for the bicep. But I was itching my skin like crazy during, well, I won't say who because I don't want them associated with rough skin, with one of our guests here in the near future here. But my right elbow was getting ashy and getting red and irritated. Anyway, I used some of the promotional cookie dough body oil from Bohemian Dream Gifts that they gave us, and my skin, I'm not kidding, came back. I can vouch for that one. The cookie dough body oil. The cookie dough body oil brought my skin back to life like an Evanescence song. I'm not kidding. My skin is smooth and happy again. 100%. You can buy cookie dough oil on Etsy at the Bohemian Dream Gifts shop. Check out their other stuff as well, but that's one that I swear by now. And as soon as my promotional one runs out, I'm going to order some myself. So go to Etsy and visit the Bohemian Dream Gifts shop today. Well, friends, the theater lights have come back on overhead. Please clean up the candy wrappers you snuck in and traverse safely. See you next week, or superfans online at patreon.com/thatkev1show. Good night.